In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about common errors. It's a part of GATE exam. It's a part of so many other examinations, competitive examination. And if you think this GE also is difficult, all the questions that teachers face in English learning, all students face in English learning process, the most puzzling is how to teach grammar. For the most part, what needs to be comprehended is whether the course instructors are comfortable teaching the particulars of grammar. Some instructors feel English grammar is the most important thing for students to master before they continued in the university, and others choose to overlook grammar entirely, focusing instead on students' communication skill. It's certainly true that almost every instructor occasionally comes across students whose grammar doesn't meet our basic expectation for standard written English, but those cases are exceptional. Most often, we encounter papers with a number of grammatical and stylistic errors. Students making prepositions, or it may be dangling modifiers. When speaking, students may also make pronunciation errors, unconnected speech, failing to distinguish between long and short sounds, etc. When writing, there may be problems with the spelling, punctuation, textual cohesion, and structure. But when causes, these errors needs to be considered seriously. In today's lecture, the most common error that happen in any kind of competitive examination, that is subject verb agreement. One of the most common mistakes we make is in failing to ensure that the verb agrees with the subject. To identify subject verb agreement, one must look for noun phrase before the main verb. A few examples I'm going to present through these slides. A few examples related to subject verb agreement with their explanations. Let's take the first one. My sister likes to play chess. And second example, my sisters like to play chess. In sentence 1, since the subject of the sentence is singular third person, the verb is plural. In sentence 2nd, since the subject is plural third person, the verb is singular. Getting? So this will believe this is very important for all of us to know how subject verb agreement we have to do carefully. We now will see rules with examples, common errors in English. The first slide that we have discussed, most of the time in general communication we do mistakes like this. See, first I'm going to read the 7 example of incorrect word. First one, lecturership. We use most of the times lecturership. What are you doing? Lecturership. But it is a wrong word. What will be the correct one? Is called lectureship. Spelling will be Lectureship. Not lecturership. We have to say lectureship. Second one, free ship. Free ship. Students, those are availing free ship. We use this terminology, this word, free ship. Students are availing nowadays free ship in our college. Instead of that, we have to speak or we have to say free studentship, not free ship. It's a wrong. The correct one is free studentship. Third one, boarding. 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 Instead of boarding, we have to say boarding house. Next one, family members. In general communication, whenever we chat with our friends, when we chat with our colleagues, and sometimes occasionally we say family members. Instead of family members, we will have to say members of the family. Getting the next time whenever you will use this terminology, whenever you will use this word, instead of family members, you will speak or you will say members of the family. The same way, next point, English teacher. English teacher, the teacher of English, the teacher of English. Cousin, brother, sister. It is also part of general communication. Cousin, brother, sister. Instead of that, we will, when we use the cousin, that means brother, sister already added with this word. So no need to use cousin, brother, cousin, sister. You will have to say cousin. Next one, ours, yours, hers, theirs. Into inverted comma, with the help of into inverted comma as is added. Instead of that, while writing, make sure you will have to write, you will have to omit this into inverted comma, ours, yours, her, theirs. If you look at this slide particularly, you would get that this is a very common mistake we do even when we write. Let's check some examples. There are 20 candidates for lectureship. Now getting, there are 20 candidates for lectureship. Example number 2. Ramesh has applied for free studentship, not free ship. You will have to use free studentship. Mohan lives in a boarding house. Mohan lives in a boarding house. Fourth one, Vivek and Suresh are the members of family. Dr. Raina is our teacher of English. Sudha is my cousin. And last one, this lab is ours. So this is the way you will have to communicate. This is the way you can write, and because this is the correct way to write or speak. In this slide, we are going to discuss about singular verb. Some nouns always take a singular verb. You remember this one? I have taken out some of the information, and you will have to keep in your mind. You have to store in your mind, and please do use whenever it will require. Scenery, comma advice, comma mathematics, comma politics, comma ethics, comma athletics, comma classics, comma fill, comma rise, comma gram, comma information, comma machinery, comma furniture, news, comma physics. Getting? So these are the nouns always take a singular verb. Getting me? Let's take the example. The scenery of Kashmir is. The proper, this is not given properly. The next second one we will have to say. He has given advice, not advices. Mathematics is a difficult subject. Some nouns are singular in form, but they are used in plural form and always take a plural verb. I repeat, some nouns are singular in form, but they are used in a plural form and always take a plural verb, like people, like clergy, cattle, gentry, company, police, etc. We'll discuss the same examples. The clergy are in the church. The clergy are in the church. The cattle are grazing in the ground. The cattle are grazing in the ground. Some plural forms, nouns always take a plural verb, like trousers, scissors, spectacles, stockings, tidings, thanks, annals, missiles, premises, etc. Again, we'll discuss the same with examples so that you should understand. See, every particular word I have taken out just because of you should understand, and with the examples. Where are my trousers? So, getting this because some plurals are always having plural verbs. So, where are my trousers? Spectacles are now a costly item. Next one. You focus on these slides, every slide, because it's a very small thing that you have learned already in the school time, college time, or till 12th standard. But nowadays, it's a part of competitive examination. You will have to give a little bit attention. I know very well you are having information about these things, but if you look at this slide, if you heard my lecture properly, definitely you will be able to score good marks. Collective nouns are used both as singular and plural depending on the meaning. Depending on the meaning. Example: jury, comma public, comma team, committee, government, audience, orchestra, company. These are the collective nouns are used both as singular and plural depending on the meaning. You should understand this is not just singular or it's not just plural. It depends on the meaning. Let's take the example. The jury were divided in this case. The jury were divided in this case. The team has not come as yet. The pronoun one must be followed by once. Let's check the example, then you will understand. The first one: one must finish his task in time. Getting this is the incorrect sentence. What would be the correct one? One must finish one's task in time. When use the pronoun, it will be always one. I am telling you to get this point. The pronoun one must be followed by once. It will not like that one must finish his task in time. It will be one must finish one's task in time. Second one, a pronoun must agree with its antecedent in person, number, and gender. Let's take some example. Every man must bring his luggage. All students must do their work. Each of the girls must carry her own bag. Here I have put some examples. Singular collective nouns takes a singular verb. Answer I will give you. Just you will have to read it carefully so that what will happen. It will be a practice for you and you can identify it. There were oblique was a crowd of people in the street. What should be the correct answer? There was a crowd of people in the street. A gang of thieves were oblique was seen entering the city at night. Answer will be a gang of thieves was seen is a collective noun was seen entering the city at night. A new board of directors have oblique has been elected in the company. Again, instead of have, we will have to choose has. A flock of sheep were oblique was grazing in the field. And the answer would be a flock of sheep was grazing in the field. Class names or classified categories take singular verb. Class names or classified categories take singular verb. The furniture, the furniture, oblique word, was spoilt by the train. The furniture was spoiled by the train. The stationery used in our office is oblique are of poor quality. Is of poor quality. Name of certain diseases and certain sciences or branches of knowledge which end in S are also singular, like measles, like mumps, mathematics, physics, economics, ethics, etc., that we have discussed in the previous slides also. Still, we just for practice, you should learn one more time. Nothing will happen because if you read so many times, automatically it will store in your mind. Example number one: measles is an infectious disease. Ethics is a branch of philosophy. Next slide. When two or more singular nouns are joined together by either and or, neither nor, and third point or, the pronoun is single or singular. When two or more singular nouns are joined together by either or, neither nor, or, the pronoun is singular. The indefinite pronouns someone, somebody, everybody, everyone, nobody, no one, each one, everyone, none of, either of, neither of, anybody are considered singular. Remember this, because while having communication, while having conversation, without knowing the proper meaning of this, we use as a plural. That is incorrect. You please store in mind, please try to understand, there are certain rules already framed in English language, and according to that we will have to follow. Let's check some example. Someone has broken the window pane. Everybody has come to the party. Everyone is invited for party tonight. None of the applicant was found fit for the job. Getting? In this first example also, someone has broken the window pane. Someone, it may be anyone. Everybody, everybody means everyone, like everyone you can consider has come to the party. Everyone is also there, is invited for party tonight. None of the applicants was found fit for the job. This is the way to prepare for the competitive examination. And as the grammar part is a bit difficult for understanding, still subject verb agreement is a part of every competitive examination, and mostly it is asked in English subject. It's a integral part of English subject, so you will have to learn. It is a part of English subject, so you will have to work bit on this so that you can get command over it, because it's a very common thing that we do in general communication. While having, we use sometimes correct, sometimes not correct, but still, because you are appearing in get examination, or you may be appearing in some other competitive examination, and English is a part of that, so please give some focus on this. A lot of and plenty of take a plural verb when they denote number. A lot of, a plenty of, when take a plural verb when they denote number. There were a lot of people at the concert. I repeat, there were a lot of people at the concert. There are plenty of opportunities for well qualified lecturers. Getting this one? Not? Then I repeat, a lot of and plenty of take a plural verb when they denote number. When they denote a number, at that time it will consider as a plural verb. Like there There were a lot of people at the concert. There are plenty of opportunities for well qualified lecturers. Some examples: either Ram or Sham will give their book. Either Ram or Sham will give his book. Correct. The correct is his book, not their book. Neither Ramesh nor Rajendra has done their work. Neither Ramesh nor Rajendra has done his work. Getting the difference between incorrect and correct sentence? Let's move on. Few, comma, a few, and the few. In this particular category, how we can solve a correct example. Few, not many. Few meaning is not many. A few, some at least. A few meaning is some at least. Positive, opposite of none. The few, whatever there is. The few, whatever there is. Getting? Now see the example. Few men are free from fault, not a few men. Not a few men. A few boys will pass the examination, not few boys. I have already read the few books that are on the bookshelf, not a few books. Use to, tier 2, to compare with words like superior, A superior, inferior, C senior, D junior, E prior, F anterior, G posterior, and prefer. Use to, use to, tier 2, to compare with the words like. When there will be word like this, you will have to use the to. Let's check. Shelley is junior than Wordsworth. Shelley, in general communication, most of the time we do like that only, even though we have a knowledge about it. But what we're trying to make comparison with like native language, whatever we use in a native language, the same way we do that. So remember this thing. In English language, there are some rules we will have to follow. Shelley is junior than Wordsworth. There is a comparison between Shelley and Wordsworth. The correct answer will be Shelley is junior to Wordsworth. Getting me? What did we have learned in the previous slide? Use to compare with words like superior, inferior, senior, junior, prior, anterior, posterior, and prefer. Whenever this kind of words will be there, you will have to use to. So we have used the word to. Second also, I prefer reading than sleeping. I prefer reading than sleeping. I prefer reading to sleeping. Getting me? I prefer reading to sleeping. When, as well as, along with, together with, no less than, in addition to, not and with. Join two subjects, the subject, join two subjects, the verb will be according to the first subject. I read one more time. You should not be confused in this category. Keep your mind on these particular slides. Try to understand the concept. We all know that once you read one time, you are not looking back to get one more time this knowledge, because you feel that you are having a knowledge about it. But still, if you have to look at the slides, you will have to understand the concept of this, then you will never ever forget in your entire life. When, as well as, along with, together with, no less than, in addition to, not and with, join two subjects, the verb will be according to the first subject. Now we'll see the examples. Ram, as well as his 10 friends, are going. Ram, as well as his 10 friends, as well as is there. So the first subject is Ram. So instead of are, we will have to use is. Ram as his 10 friends, is going, is going, getting. The teacher, second example, the teacher along with the students. In this particular second example, along with what is there? The teacher along with the students were going. And the answer should be the teacher along with the student was going. Why was? Because it is asking past tense. Getting? If the subject is a number of, the plural verb is used. A number of books are missing. Correct. A number of books is missing. Incorrect. I repeat, if the subject start with a number of, the plural verb is used. So the correct one, a number of books are missing. The number of, the singular verb is used. The number of students are very small. The number of students is very small. Let's check about the expressions. What to speak of? What to speak of? Not to speak of. In communication, we use with the expressions. Cent percent. Don't tell 10%. Tell 100%. Word by word. Word by word. Word for word. The two first. The first two. The two first is incorrect. The correct is the first two. These are the expressions. Because in conversation, we use we convert it according to our feasibility. This is wrong. What language required for making a correct sentence that you will have to use, not according to our wish. Let's take some example. Not to speak for running, he cannot even walk. You are never 100% sure of your success in a competitive examination. These two examples. Now we'll see how we can avoid some common errors. I'll just give more focus on this because these are the particular category wise point I have written on this slide so that you can understand this and you will never ever forget. Care should be taken in the use of verbs. Remember, I repeat, care should be taken in the use of verbs. Means whenever you will have to use the verbs, you should be little bit careful about how there is a singular verb or plural form is there. Then according to that, I will have to use the verbs. Second, an infinitive verb should not be split. Infinitive verb should not be split. Remember, only only should be placed immediately before the word it qualifies. Getting? Only should be placed immediately before the word it qualifies. Only he lost his ticket in the train. Only it should be first. He only lost his ticket in the train. This is incorrect. Then how, when, usage. How to use this kind of word? Then. Then should be used after no other. No other. Then should be used after no other. Example, I met no other man than Mr. Raju. Not but. Then how, when, usage. Then should be used after no other. After no other. I met no other man than Mr. Raju. Let's take about how or when. Should be used after no. I know how to write French. I know to write French. I know how to write French. In this particular slide, we are going to see some numbers are given, some words are given, and how it followed by used. Many, singular verb, a great many, a plural noun and plural verb, thought, yet, not, but, no sooner than, lest, should, such as, so that, scarcely, when, hardly, not by then. Just for your information, this slide only for information. Examples we will see, then you can understand. Many, a man was drowned in the sea, not well, not were. A great many students have been declared successful, not has. Many, that's why we will have to use have, not has. Though he is poor, yet he is honest, not but. We use but in communication because we just think it will be but it is not like that. We will have to use yet. No sooner had I entered the class than the student stood up, not when. Read regularly lest you should fail. Not will, not shall. He is such a writer as everybody should read his book. Not that. We cannot use that his he is that a writer as everybody should read this book, or he is such a writer that everybody should read this book. Sarita was so popular with her classmates that she always had some people coming to her for advice, not as. If you use the as, how it will be? Sarita was so popular with her classmates as she always had some people coming to her for advice. I had scarcely entered the room when the phone rang, not then. In this slide, some we will learn about the denotes, refers, and indicates. Who, the subject, whom, the object, whose, living person, which, lifeless objects, each other, if there are two subjects or objects, one another, more than two subjects or objects, less 5 liters of water quantity, fever no fewer than 50 persons, older followed by then refers person as well as things, elder members of the family, when indicates a general sense, while indicates a time during the process of. This is just for, again, this is for your information, because if we have the information and whenever there is a time to use, we can use it. Some and ending. In this particular section that we are going to discuss with some examples, some is used to express quantity and degree. Affirmative sentence generally. Example, I shall buy some apples. I shall buy some apples. Any, what about any? Any is used in a negative or interrogative sense. Remember, some is used in affirmative sentences because it gives a positive feedback or positive way. Any is used in a negative or interrogative sense. With the examples, you will understand. Example number one, I shall not buy any apples. Have I shall, you got it? I shall not buy any apples. Have you bought any apples? That means in the first example gives information about negative sentence or negative sense. Second example is about interrogative. So, have you bought any apples? Like that we have asked. Now, let's check about unless, until, not, expresses, or how we can use, or what we can use. Unless, until, not. Unless, until a condition time. It expresses a condition, it expresses a time. They generally we use unless you do this, until you do this, like that. Not is never used with unless or until. Don't use not with unless and until. It is not for unless and until. Not is not used. Getting? This is also used, or this is also asked in GET examination. I have seen some papers that I'm going to give you for practice, and hopefully you will solve that. Mostly example asks from not only but also. He not only comes from swimming but also for coaching the learners. He comes not only for swimming but also for coaching the learners. This expression is meant for swimming and not for coming. One of, one of, one of always takes a plural noun after it. It is one of the important day in my life. It is one of the important day in my life. It is one of the important days in my life. Are you getting the difference between two sentences? Read it one more time. It is one of the, what did I say in this first line? One of always takes a plural noun. Getting me? One of is there, then it will be a plural noun. It is one of the important day, one of the important day in my life. Then, because I said a plural noun you have to use, then it will be, it is one of the important days in my life. When two singular nouns joined by and, when two singular nouns joined by and point out same things or person, the verb will be singular. Let's check. Bread and butter make good breakfast. Bread and butter make a good breakfast. Correct will be bread and butter makes a good breakfast, because when two singular nouns, bread and butter, joined by and point out same thing or person, when it's pointing about the same thing or person, the verb will be singular. Either or, neither nor. We had already examples in previous slides that now we have to follow. If two subjects are joined by either or, neither nor, the verb agrees with the subject that is near. Example, either Ramesh or I am to do this work, not are. Neither he nor his friend are reading, not is. Now it's time for assignments. I'm going to give you some slides that you will have to follow. You will have to read it carefully. But before giving the assignment, I would like to add some different examples that is not included in this slide. But I want to give you. You will have to listen to me carefully to solve this one. Before going for this one, I would like to give you some information that you will have to keep in your mind. Some different category wise questions I have made that I want to give you. Just listen to me carefully because it is not on the slides. I'm going to give you some sentence. In the following two sentence, when the subject is the formal there, there means there, there. The verb agrees with the real subject that follows it. There was a dreadful accident last night. There was a dreadful accident last night. Second one, there are 40 pupils in our class. There are 40 pupils in our class. Second one, if a sentence carries two singular subjects joined by the conjunction and the verb is plural. Nalini and Rita have not come today. You just look at the nouns, look at the subjects. Nalini and Rita have not come today, not has come today, because it is add with the and. Wheat, second one, wheat, rice, and barley are cereals. It is not for everyone, but when two or more nouns represent a compound names of one person or things, then the compound is thought of a singular and takes a singular verb. His friend, example, just for example, I'm giving you, his friend and benefactor has come to see him. His friend and benefactor has come to, not have come to see him. It will be has. Second example, bread and butter is a wholesome food. Getting some more examples that we have to take. Just about one more. News. I had taken example, but still I want to give you because it is asked in examination. News, though it has a plural form, is always treated as singular, and advice and information are also always used as a singular. News, what is the latest news? We are not going to use it, we don't allow to use what is the latest news because we consider it as a plural, but it will be singular. What is the latest news? Second example, the doctor gave me much advice. The doctor gave me much advice, not many good advices. We should not use because he has given more than one advice, so you will not use as advices, you will use as advice. Third example, can you give us any information about this matter? Any information. Can you give us any information about this matter? Next one, a number of is always followed by plural verb that we have learned. Now we have to focus on next one. A dozen. Since it denotes a plural number, it takes a plural verb. Dozen. There are a dozen eggs on the plate. There are there are a dozen eggs on the plate. Next one. There were a dozen pencils in the drawer. Again, I would just for recollecting you should not forget. That's why I'm giving and adding this information. When a pair of is applied to things like scissors, shoes, trousers, etc., where two components are always thought of together, takes a singular verb. There is a pair of scissors in the drawer. There is a pair of scissors in the drawer. We will have to use singular verb. There was a pair of trousers in the wardrobe, like that. Again, sum of, half of, and any other fraction of take a plural verb if the reference is to number. If the things are countable. Some, for example, some of the houses were dark and dingy. Some of the houses were dark and dingy. Second example, half of the eggs were rotten. Were rotten. Now let's move for the next category, countable. When a plural number applies to distances, weights, heights, amounts of money, take as a whole. It is treated as a singular and takes a singular verb. I repeat one more time. Please understand. When a plural number applies to distances you are getting, weights, heights, or amounts of money take as a whole, it is treated as a singular and takes a singular verb. 10 miles is not a great distance these days. What we have to omit? 10 miles is not a great distance these days. So when we are looking at the sentence, 10 miles, we have to use are. No, don't use are. It will be is. 50 grams of tea cost 40 rupees, not cost. Costs. COSTS. Third example, 10,000 rupees is a lot of money. We should not use this one like 10,000 rupees are a lot of money. This is a wrong one. We will have to use is a lot of money. Since, next one, since many refers to number which is countable, is considered plural, much refers to amount of quantity which is uncountable, hence is considered singular. Always having confusion about how to use many and how to use much. I repeat, read it this, listen to me carefully. Since many refers to number which is countable, it is considered plural. Much refers to amount of quantity which is uncountable, hence considered singular. Many of the flowers have no smell. Example number one is many of the flowers have no smell. Example number two, much of the countryside was flooded. Some additional information that we have discussed earlier, but because I'm going to give you assignment, so you will have to mm, listen to me one more time. People and cattle are plural. People in our village are hardworking. People considered as a plural. The cattle were grazing in the field, which I said just before in the earlier slides. Next one. If the verb has to agree with the subject, not with this predicate, some example will be the only drawback of his medicine is its side effects. The side effects of these medicines are a matter of great concern. Examples only. When one verb is followed by another, the second verb takes ing form. This is very important that we have missed in the slides. That's why I'm giving you extra one. I repeat, listen to me carefully. When one verb is followed by another, the second verb takes ing form if it is after the preposition, including to if to is a preposition. Let's take some example. I prefer dancing to singing. Kidding? I prefer dancing to singing. Second one. I am used to driving late nights. Third one. The staff objects to working night shifts. Fourth one. We look forward to seeing you again. I finished it by working 16 hours a day. Last one. Check the brakes before starting the car. This is the way of continuous form. Again, we will have some more. The present continuous tense cannot be used to write about habits, likes, or preferences. We use simple present tense here. For example, number one, he likes playing cricket. We are talking about the present continuous tense cannot be used to write about habits, cannot use for to write about habits, likes, or preferences. You cannot use continuous form. Remember this. Example 1, he likes playing cricket. Incorrect. The correct will be he likes to play cricket. It's a habit. Likes. Second one again. I'm loving long walks. I'm loving long walks. Instead of that, I love long walks. Habits. Example of habits. Third one. I'm not taking that route while going to office. I am not taking that route while going to office. Correct one. I do not take that route while going to office. Getting? Now, next one. When describing regular or routine activities, present continuous tense cannot be used. We must use only simple present tense. Example 1, I am going to club every day. Instead of that, you will have to speak like this. You will have to say like this. I go to the verb every day. Why? Why I'm using this word? Because describing regular or routine activities, present continuous tense cannot be used. It will be always prefer with the simple present tense. Second example, I'm studying for 5 hours regularly. I study for 5 hours regularly. Some question tag example we will have discuss. Question tag that we know, but still we do mistakes. We don't want to lose a single mark, and you should not lose a single mark in this very highly conducted examination that can be a very essential, that can be a part of your career also, and you will have to play, you will have to give more attention towards small questions also. You know that you can do it just because of you're having the information. If you have the complete and correct information, you surely you confidently you can face the examination. Just give 2 minutes to get the question tags information. The question tag is used mainly on two occasions. One, for more positive confirmation of a sentence statement, or two, when the speaker wishes to get some information from the listener. The elements that constitute as a question tags. Be forms of verbs are, is, am, was, were. Do forms of verbs do, did, does. Have forms has, had, have. Modal forms will, would, can, could, shall, should, may, might, must, need, ought to. Getting? So some examples we will take, then I will start the assignment. Some example we'll discuss. A negative question tag with a contracted from not is normally used with a positive sentence. My father, example 1. My father will come soon. Won't he? Question mark. Raj was very angry. Wasn't he? I am very optimistic. Aren't I? We can take we can take rest now, can't we? He has read this book, hasn't he? Or we should escort her, shouldn't we? This is kind of example that we have to, and there are so many examples and so many things that we have to discuss, we can discuss, but as a part of limitation, as a part of completing portion, and as a part of time limit, we have to stop. Now just check the assignment. This is the paper of 2016 gate examination, general aptitude examination. So example that we'll have to read it carefully. Some two or three slides are there. If you focus on that, you can easily solve that. Example 1. See how they ask in examination. While giving a first look, you can find that it is very easy. But if you go in deep to get the correct information, you will find that there are some really tricky things are hidden, and then you need to find it out, and and then only it will be helpful for you to solve that. Question number one. The chairman requested the aggrieved shareholders to dash him. What it says, the chairman requested the aggrieved shareholder to him. Option number A, bear with. Option number B, bore with. Option number C, bear with. Or option number D, bear. When such kind of situation is there, generally the person we're talking about, chairperson or chairman, is requested to shareholder to bear with him. So the correct answer will be bear with him. Option number A is the correct one. Question number two. Identify the correct spelling out of the given options. See, everybody might have read this word which is given here in four options, but nobody or very few people having the correct spelling of the given word, because we read so many times, we speak this word so many times, but we never bother about the spellings. So such kind of questions also asked. It is asked in GATE 2016 general aptitude paper, so it will be possible that can be asked such kind of question in 2021 also. So please give some focus on this also. Option number A, spelling, look at that. Managable, manageable. Getting? Option number B, Manegeable, manageable. Option C, Manegaeble, again manageable. And D, option number D, Manegible. Just when we read such words, we find that all are correct because it is giving about information manageable. But the correct spelling we need to identify. And how it can be possible? Only reading the word and writing the correct spelling of the word. This is the only trick that you have. Then only you can remember, you can write the correct one. In this particular question number two, the option number B is the correct one. Spelling for the manageable is Manegeable, manageable. Now, again, we have some examples of GATE 16 paper, set 7. Question number one. If I were you, I dash that laptop, it's too much too expensive. I read one more time. If I were you, I dash that laptop, it's much too expensive. In general communication, we say that if I would be on your place, I would have do that. I would have done that like that. Use terminology. Here you will have to consider the same way. If I were you, I, option number one, won't buy that laptop, is too much expensive. Option B, shalln't I? Option C, wouldn't buy, or option D, would buy. As sentence giving a negative remarks because it's too much expensive, so we will have to choose option C, wouldn't buy. If I were you, I wouldn't buy that laptop. It's it's much too expensive. Question number two. Question number two. He turned a deaf ear to my request. This question is based on idiom and phrases or phrasal verb like that. So you will have to focus on idioms and phrases also and phrasal verb also. What does the underlying phrasal verb mean? See, he turned a deaf ear to my request. When I request him, he turned a deaf ear. Means he turn off his ear. He doesn't want to listen. That means he's ignoring. So the answer is he turned a deaf ear to my request What does the underlying phrasal verb meaning is? Option A, ignore. Option B, appreciated. Option C, twisted. Or option D, return. The correct answer is ignore. Meaning of turning a deaf ear means ignore. Question number 3. Choose the most appropriate set of words from the options given below to complete the following sentence. See, such kind of questions also asked in GATE examination verbal ability section that you will have to focus. Choose the most appropriate set of words from the options given below to complete the following sentence. Where, there, there. Option B, were, there. Option C, were, there. Or option D, were, there. This is the closest answers are given to make you confused, but you should understand the meaning of the sentence. Then you can choose the correct options. How? See, where, option C is the correct one. WHERE, where there is a will, there is a way. Where, not WEAR, not WERE, but it is option C. Where there is a will, there is a way. Not THEIR, which is given in option D two times. We will have to give a correct answer, correct options. Where there is a will, there is a way. Sometimes we have to read the sentence, try to understand the meaning of the sentence, then only it will be possible for you. This is the way to learn a kind of subject verb common errors examples that is asked in examination. If you learn gradually, you will develop for practicing it. Just that's why I had given these slides as assignments. It is directly from question paper. This particular slide was from GATE 2016 set 8, and this one set 7 from the same year paper. If you see such kind of papers are coming, such type of questions are asking in this examination, so you will have to solve that, practice such kind of examples. No need to bother too much because time is less, and you will have to focus on each and every subject. You will have to give attention for other subject also. For getting good marks, you can be you should be assured yourself with getting such kind of information, such kind of knowledge. So I hope you all are getting such kind of information in other subjects also. But if you're having queries, you can identify the problems. You can discuss with me with on my WhatsApp number so that we can sort it out and we can get more knowledge about it. This is small things only. So directly from the question papers, I have given this question so that you should practice it well. And other lectures also I have given this. Especially I have made 2, 3, 4 lectures which are very very essential, which are directly focused on the exam point of view. So thank you so much. If you're having queries, you can ask me. Don't worry about it. Just focus on small things. You can be corrected, and you can score good marks also. Getting. So thank you so much for patience there. Thank you so much.